Did you see at PlayStation, Sony SIE, Sony Interactive Entertainment, has taken down Cyberpunk 2077 for sale? Not only that, is offering free refunds to everybody. Benji, what's up, dude? Dead ass. I just saw the story. I just saw the fucking story on it. Free show. Dead ass, chat. Sony pulls Cyberpunk 2077 from PlayStation Store, says buyers can get a refund. Like, what? What about Steam? It still works for a lot of people on Steam, though. And I'm changing this because I don't know what I want to play yet. It says WoW, but I don't know if I feel like playing WoW. Death, what's going on with your computer? What's going on with your computer, man? Chat, Sony pulling. So this may be one of the, like, if there's an end cap to the year, if there's an end cap to the year, this is fucking insane. The fact that a game is so unbelievably busted at launch that a major game company has taken it off of the store, refuses to sell a game, something that's been highly hyped for years at this point, right? And not only that, is breaking its general policy of offering refunds. It's fucking insane to me. That, to clarify, I'm so up and down on Cyberpunk right now that, like, it's not even funny. I'm not having any technical issues. I just think as a game, it's kind of like whatever. It's like, it has awesome moments, but generally it's kind of just whatever. Like, it's definitely no Witcher 3. Witcher 3 is literally probably the pinnacle of gaming. And there's a lot of people, and I'm seeing it in chat right now too, that are saying that it's worse than Fallout 76's launch. And insanely enough, I'm inclined to agree. But this leads to a really broad question, chat. Is how much is too much, right? For years, we've been dealing with day one patches. We've been dealing with bug fixes. We've been dealing with games that come out in a pretty sloppy fucking state. And I would say up until this point, Fallout 76 is probably the highest echelon of games coming out fucked up until now. Cyberpunk, the fact, it blows me away that a game that has this much like hype behind it, because it's the makers of The Witcher 3 and it's a pretty highly regarded studio, especially in the PC space, that this single game in about a week's time has completely trashed CD Projekt Red's both credibility as well as any sort of trust that they had. The only thing that they have going for them is the fact that, you know, all their games have come out in a stage of fucked upness, and they've really taken the time to go back. Their post-launch support is generally second to none. Between the breadth of their DLCs that they put out, the breadth of the content that they re-add back into the game, and as much as they go to try to fix it, so much so that they changed the entire opening sequence of The Witcher 2. Many people don't remember this. They changed the entire intro sequence to The Witcher 2 because people didn't like it. they went and rechanged all of Geralt's movements and how he moves in The Witcher 3 because people didn't like it because it felt too floaty. So that's like the one saving grace for this game, just based off of the shoddy state that it comes out in now. And especially, and I was wondering this up until launch, right? You would see people posting about benchmarks and how great this game looked on top end PCs and how great it was going to be. We were on the cusp of new consoles. We were on the cusp of new consoles. New consoles are out as of the time of talking about this, and as of Cyberpunk launching. And I don't think anybody was thinking about original PS4s and Xbox Ones, because drastically, and this is what law is it? Newton's law, Murphy's law? No, Murphy's law is like, if you do bad shit's gonna happen back. Whatever law it is that says computing power is basically squaring itself every iteration. It feels like that nobody took that into account when developing this game, or the developers did, but nobody thought about original consoles. To answer your question, Handy, yes, because there's no native Cyberpunk 2077 for PS5 or Xbox One X. SIE strives to ensure a high level of consumer satisfaction. Therefore, we will begin to offer a full refund for all gamers who have purchased Cyberpunk 2077 via PlayStation Store. SIE will also be removing Cyberpunk 2077 from PlayStation Store until further notice. Once we have confirmed that you purchased Cyberpunk 2077 via PSN, we will begin processing your refund. Please note that completion of this refund may vary based on your payment method and financial institution. Like, it was quiet. Like, this is fucking, this literally is fucking insane, dude. The game they advertise isn't what they gave us. The world immersion doesn't exist. When it's supposed to be a hybrid of like an in-depth RPG / immersive sim, and it's kind of just not. It kind of doesn't work on any of those levels, because all of your immersion breaks as soon as you see a fucking vaguely textured polygon walking across your screen that's supposed to be a character or an NPC, but it's just a anthropomorphic blob of pixels and a shader. It's fucking insane to me that this game, I think it's safe to say that Cyberpunk 2077 is probably one of the most botched launches of all time. More so than No Man's Sky, more so than Fallout 76. I bet I could find a fucking anime titty ripoff of goddamn Death Stranding that runs better than Cyberpunk 2077. I bet there's an anime titty version of Cyberpunk 2077 right now. Hang on, let's look it up on Steam, chat. Let's look it up on Steam, because I guarantee you that this exists. I'm sure it's Cyberpunk Waifu 2069. Boom. Boom. Cyberpunk Naughty Girls XXX. Easy. Whoa! 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 I did not see that coming. The sad part is, I bet it runs better than Cyberpunk 2077. So just another white guy. Twitch has clarified of the fact that you can show nudity on Twitch as long as it's not the sole focus and front end stream of your stream. So consider that additive content. I'm also gonna bookmark that because I might need to just go ahead and cut that out. What's crazy to me is that they haven't even given a date as to when they're gonna put this game back up. And I hate to say this as somebody who was pretty excited for Cyberpunk. I think generally, and I think just because it was CD Projekt Red making it, like, I bugs aside, say this game runs perfectly. Say this game runs beautiful 60 FPS all the way through on base consoles, no texture pop-ins, no egregious bullshit that happens with the game that is in currently existence, right? I don't think Cyberpunk is a very good game. I think that its narrative beats, it does a couple of interesting things. I think before the title card is okay. I think there are certain like story beats, but the side missions feel kind of just. Where I'm chat. Needless to say, I'm 30 hours into this game and I just unlocked street racing and a fucking open world GTA / RPG clone. Like, this is crazy to me. Like, I just don't think that this game is very good. I keep playing it hoping that it's gonna get better, and I'm like I said, I'm 30 something hours in and it's just kind of not. Like, it's just kind of, it feels like it's a lot of busy work with like this really cool world wrapped around it, and it's not taking full advantage of the play space that you're actually in. And the melee feels pretty not great, and there's like 4 whole missions wrapped up in punching people in the face with your fists, like, which is crazy to me. The gunplay feels kind of just, it's starting to feel better now, but once again, I'm 30 hours in, right? And I'm finally getting good weapons, but even then, I have set weapons now. I don't think I'm changing them anytime soon because like they're actually just solid and I can keep upgrading them along with the crafting. And the crafting systems, like, once again, I'm 30 fucking hours in and I still can't, like, I have to craft a bunch of bullshit in order to like be able to do anything worthwhile. I just don't think it's a very good game, period. But the fact that it's in such a shit condition that Sony is literally offering refunds to anybody who's bought this game on PlayStation 4 or 5 actually floors me, with no sign of it coming back. But when it comes back, is it going to come out with fanfare, or is it going to come out like a fucking fart in the night? Cox with the raid, dude. Thank you so much, buddy. I appreciate it, dude. Kenzin, thank you for the follow as well, dude. I appreciate it, my guy. How are you guys doing tonight? What were you guys up to? Let me do the thing. Let me do the shout out thing. Fucking just chatting. Wait, what were you chatting about? I'm late, but I'm here. Dude, I'm late, but I'm here. Fuck. Like, I don't know, man. And you've been seeing it happening for a long time. You know, like, you get these games that come out in a pretty ass condition. They're not very good. They don't run very well. They fucking kind of just sort of like appear out of nowhere, and then we all just have gotten so accustomed to the day one patch days. Like, it blows me away, the fact that we've let these games just kind of come out and they're not in the state that they should be with how game releases should be occurring. I just don't understand how we got into this state where we just all the internet has killed video games, because now we could just like kind of put a game out with fucking waivers from console manufacturers in a fucking condition that is absolutely butt, knowing that there's gonna be a day one patch. It's sad when you can say, hey, this game's really good, but you should probably wait for like its first patch. Like, to me, like, am I crazy, or does it? And it's really sad. It's even, I think the saddest part of it all is that we applaud games that come out in a functioning condition. Do we realize this? Do we realize this? Thank you for the prime cucks. I super appreciate it, my guy. Like, do we fucking realize that we applaud games for like, aww? Like, we applaud games for coming out functioning. it shouldn't be this way, chat. We should want more out of this, right? I mean, I'm waiting for somebody to disagree with me, but I just don't think that that's the case. I think that we all just fucking just kind of go along sucking the Kool-Aid down and going, yay, the game came out. And like, but it's running at like 4 frames per second. It looks like that you're playing like a very shittily, poorly optimized version of fucking Roblox Minecraft. And we go, oh, but things. I got an in out on this. What? Yeah, I can pop into Discord. What's up? By the way, we do have Discord. It's pretty cool. Pretty pog. Pretty good shit. Hello?
Hello? Sorry, Mike was muted from the raid. Gotta mute your stream. So on this whole, like, so that's why I didn't buy Cyberpunk. Was because of how bad it was gonna come out. Right? Because they everything that gets all these like what should I say? Like it gets hyped, like overhyped, right?
Mm-hmm.
Every game that's ever been overhyped when it first drops is terrible. I mean, Fall Guys, you know how many freaking like bugs Fall Guys had at first?
All the bugs.
It was terrible. So, on your point of going like internet's ruined that, I don't think it's the internet that's ruined it. I think it's the game developers not like maybe they should shut up and don't let it out until it's like actually ready. Because now they're in like a time crunch. You know what I mean? Now they're like, oh shit, we told the world that this is happening. And now we gotta somehow pull out this game that's got all these new mechanics and all this new stuff. All that's gonna change the way gaming is. We have 2 months to pull it out.
I agree. I agree to an extent, but why do developers feel this pressure? I'll rebuttal your argument with a different rebuttal.
Well, so and they feel this pressure because they let it out, right? It gets leaked or whatever, right? Maybe they need to up the security on it getting leaked. You know, because that's what happened with Cyberpunk was like no one was supposed to know right away, and then all of a sudden everybody knew, and then they had to come out with it at the gaming whatever what game deal was that what's it called
E3.
Yeah, they came out with it because they had to, not because they wanted to. I'm sure they wanted to wait longer, right? Because like they weren't ready.
Okay.
Not even close.
Yes. Also, the game was delayed like 8 times.
Yeah, that's because they weren't ready.
So why not just delay it? They've already announced a big patch in January and a big patch in February. Why not push it to February?
They should have. And you're right, they should have. Like, really, this game shouldn't have came out in 2020. It shouldn't have. They weren't ready. And they ruined the game by it.
There's an old Miyamoto quote that I always like to say that a game can be delayed and people will be mad, but you will always remember that good game. However, if a game comes out in a shitty ass state that it's in, a shitty game, no matter what state it comes out, will always be known as that shitty game. Okay, it takes a monumental force. Look at I can think of maybe 3 games that have maybe pulled out of this death spiral. And that would be Destiny 1. That would be, I would say Destiny 1. Destiny 1 came out in a pretty poor state.
I know one that you probably won't think of.
What?
Grand Theft Auto 5.
Yeah. No, you're dead ass serious. Online was busted.
The whole game was busted when it first came out. You couldn't even get halfway through the story mode without it breaking and crashing. Like, I played that on console. So like in console, the single player was perfectly it actually worked fairly decently. So
but the multiplayer never, it didn't work for a year. Nobody remembers this.
Yeah, it never worked.
A whole year.
GTA Online didn't even work on the PC for a year. Right? And so it's like That's another game. And but look at what Rockstar has done with that game and how much money they've made off of it. And they haven't released another Grand Theft Auto in how long? 4 years now? 5 years?
Longer than that.
Is it longer than that?
Yeah, because GTA 5 came out in 360 days. That was 7 years ago.
Let's look. Yeah, you're right. It released on September 17th, 2013.
That was over 7 years ago.
And they're still going, oh, hey, yeah, buy this. This is what we have, so buy it. Because what they did,
and it sells. GTA is yes, GTA is the best. The only other one that I was going to come up with that hasn't even I would say a bigger success arc, because GTA has the grace of being Grand Theft Auto, right? And it can come out in a shit state, but it's still a Grand Theft Auto game. People are still going to buy it. It doesn't matter. However, No Man's Sky is the only other one I was going to bring up, and No Man's Sky had the biggest fucking turnaround I've seen in video games. Period.
I think the first Badlands was kind of like that too.
Which one?
The first one. The first Badlands kind of fell through.
What's Badlands?
You never heard of Badlands?
No.
Yeah. If I remember.
Oh, yeah.
No, Borderlands. My bad.
Borderlands.
Yeah.
Scooby with the fucking sub, dude. Oh my god, this man's a god.
No, but I
seriously, thank you, brother. Hopefully your neck feels better.
If I remember, I think the first Borderlands came out bad too. But I don't remember. But you're right. It's like, look, if you're gonna produce like Valorant got leaked, right? Valorant wasn't like, it got leaked, and now the developers, which is Riot Games, who has been making games and is a very, very credible, like they know what they're doing, it made them have to rush it.
I'll put games in quotation mark. They put out one game.
True.
League of Legends.
but it's always like, but look at what they've done with it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, totally. No.
But it's just like, I don't. So like my rebuttal to what you said was like, what makes these game developers go, shit, we got to put this out, is the fact of they don't have enough protection on it not getting leaked.
I mean, right? there's human cost. They're not cost. That's not the right word, but there's humans in there too.
It's human error. Like someone gets fired from the game department and they go, well, fuck you. And they leak it. I mean, that's probably what happens with 75% of these leaks. But it's like, what that's something they can't stop. But with I feel like they could have done a better, because that's why I did not buy Cyberpunk. That's why I was not interested in playing it. Anything was because I knew that when you have a game that was going to be this revolutionary, this game was supposed to change gaming, right? They were like, the next year they're supposed to come out with VR for it, a bunch of shit, right? This game's supposed to be like better than anything, and they absolutely shit the bed. Not only did they shit the bed, now they're going, here, we'll give you a refund. That's how mad people are. It's because they're going, here, we'll just give you guys a refund, and hopefully you'll keep buying our games later on. It's like, okay, yeah, but look, this makes me not want to buy one of your games.
I mean, yeah, that trust is busted now.
I didn't even buy it. And I probably won't, because one, it's not really a game I'd play. It's not like my type of game, but I was going to. I thought about it, and then I sat back and I thought, and I went, well, this game's gonna be broken as shit. Like, when you have all this new stuff that they're trying to incorporate, that's like Valorant wasn't as bad because they had, they mixed kind of Overwatch and CS:GO, and then took the League of Legends shit and they just spliced it all together. All that stuff had already been done. It wasn't anything that hadn't been done before. Where Cyberpunk, there's a lot of stuff in Cyberpunk that had never been done before, ever. It was all new, right? And that shit's just bound to break. It's trial and error. When you're, let's say you're building a car for the first time, you don't build the car and go, yep, it's done, we're selling that one. They build the car and they test it for 6 months, and then they go, oh wait, we fucked up all of this shit. We got to fix it.
It's all broken. It's all coming in hot. Exactly. I can't believe this still has hang on a second. This can't be true.
What?
Hang on. I got to look something up.
Nice headphones, by the way.
Thank you. Best
Same
best
one.
headset I've ever bought.
Yeah, but I used the other ear cuffs that came with them.
Where is chat? Where are reviews on this thing? How is this game still reviewing mostly positive?
Cyberpunk? Because you have the fans that go, well, look, they were doing like that guy, the first one. Go back up. The first one. You have the people like that. Although the game is buggy and feels poorly optimized, I still sunk 40 hours in the game just doing some missions without even trying. The game has its issues, sure, but the game itself certainly is something special, worth of at the bare minimum. So, like, look, he's going, okay, yeah, it might have sucked. It might have had some bugs and some weird shit, but it's got a lot of cool shit.
But what's the but this comes down to me talking like the game as a whole. I don't know what the cool shit is.
Well, I don't either. But like, it's just what I'm meaning when I say cool shit is like all the new stuff they brought into it. Like you can adjust your dick size. That's crazy.
I don't need to, baby. It's already huge.
Well, me too, but
mostly positive. Exactly, Jared. I don't know, man.
I don't know. I think you have the people that are just gonna hate because it's a new game that had bugs, you know. And that's the other issue with the internet is that like you get those people, you know, you see it all the time on Twitch, you know. You go into like right now, and let's just make an example.
Yeah.
XQC right now, who's streaming for 65.4K viewers. Right? That's a lot of fucking people. I guarantee, and okay, I shouldn't say guarantee. I bet you there's 1,000 people in there that are only in there to spam TTS donos to like make him feel like shit. Just because that's how the internet is these days. They're all a bunch of trolls.
People suck.
So you're gonna get those troll reviews. You know what I mean? And you're just gonna get them.
And that's why I say the internet ruins everything, because now everybody has a voice.
I mean, you're yeah. Okay, you're right.
Mama, thank you for the 100. I appreciate it. How are you? Your streams have been popping recently, though. Like, actually killing it. Switching up a little bit. I'm proud of you. Everyone should not have a voice.
Get on with your stream.
Thank you, man.
Get some foodies.
Go eat.
Have a good rest of your stream.
Thanks, bud.
I hope you have a good one.
You too, brother. Thank you. I'll talk to you later.
Bye, chat.
Yeah, say bye. Be nice. Not everyone should have a voice. I think that's kind of the problem. I think that's the problem as with us as a whole now. And I think the internet's a really cool thing. This has kind of gone into a whole different scenario, right? The internet's a really cool thing, but like fuck, like it's also ruined a lot of things. Right? Because now everybody can fucking say whatever the hell they want to, including me. Which is awesome and also fucking terrible. And I'm not saying that we should limit the speech on the internet. You know, everybody knows here by now I'm like fucking free speech all the way, baby. Let's go. But like, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's fucking tragic what's happening with Cyberpunk right now, and it's deserved. The game's a fucking mess. The fact that they were okay. This is the biggest hypocritical statement they've ever put out too. We are 3 times they delayed this game to work on it for original consoles for Xbox One and PS4, and it comes out in the state that it's in, and they basically admit in their fucking earnings call that it was an afterthought. We weren't even thinking about it because we were thinking about new tech. Like, come on. And but like I was saying, bugs aside, game's kind of just okay. It's not doing anything crazy. The driving kind of feels busted. The gunplay feels kind of stupid. They never really put much effort into it. I'm not gonna say that, Jiro, because I do think that there's a lot of good stuff in the game. I do think there's a lot of good stuff in general world ambiance and there's ideas in there that are really cool. But like, as a narrative set dressing, which technically isn't new for the cyberpunk genre, you know what I mean? It's just not. It's all been about, you know, you can change anything you want to about yourself. You can make your fucking cock huge, or you can make your asshole fucking on your fucking forehead. I mean, you see it in fucking Cyberpunk. There's a dude in the side quest who has a fucking grenade for a nose. Like, that's the joy of the Cyberpunk as a genre. And I think that shit's really cool, especially doing it to a player character, which is why I think it works in a video game. But like, it's not hard to implement something like that. It's narrative set dressing, and that's what they do really well. That's what CD Projekt does really well, is the narrative set dressing. The reason why I put 100 hours into The Witcher 3 was because it's like one of the best written games known to man, one of the best voice acted games known to man, and the world's just really cool, and the whole setup for everything is fucking it's great. For those of you who played The Witcher 3, I can guarantee you guys can name off fucking actual quest lines that you go through, right? And yes, they all basically distill down to like either killing people or killing monsters, and that's fine. That's just game design. 30 seconds of fun, as Joseph Staten once said about original Halo back at Bungie. You have your 30 seconds of fun, you lock that down. Everything else around it is just superfluous, and it's what makes the games different, right? But you want to find that 30 seconds of fun in your game and do it over and over and over again. And think about all the games you play. They all have about that 30-second rotation of a good time. What you do around that can be completely different, but regardless of the fact, you're basically recreating about 30 seconds to a minute of action that leads to that good time. And I'm not finding it in Cyberpunk either. The shooting feels kind of whatever. The driving sucks. I have to drive a motorcycle because the car pathing in that game is so atrociously terrible, and the pop-ins are even more crazy, dude. I was flying down the motorcycle at like 150 miles an hour, just fucking going, and all of a sudden a car just appears out of nowhere, popped in, poof, pow, I'm flying across the fucking map. Gravity be damned. It's funny, but it's aggravating, right? There's just, I don't know, the writing's pretty stilted. Keanu Reeves, I love Keanu, but when has he ever been able to act? The reason why John Wick works so well is because he's like a fucking plastic doll. He doesn't really have any semblance of like emotion, right? Like like your character may be the most interesting, and even then, half of his stuff feels pretty stale and not very interesting. I don't know, man. Cyberpunk is a fucking disappointment and a half, but the fact that Sony's pulling this shit down from the stores is even crazier to me, and offering refunds for it. The first time a platform holder has basically come out and said, yes, we will offer you refunds on a digital fucking purchase, chat. A digital purchase. But now we know they can do it, which then gives recourse to saying, hey, why can't we just refund a game like Steam does? Steam is god tier on that, but that's a whole different topic as well. But yeah, dude, the Sony pulling Cyberpunk 2077 is a fucking fascinating thing. I'll be interested to see when it comes back. Hopefully it's at some point, because while the game's a mess and I get why they're doing it, it just still feel, I don't know. It's one of those things. It's hard to suss out how I feel about it. Like I said, I don't think I like Cyberpunk as a whole all that much, but the fact that it's being pulled is even crazier to me. And offering refunds. It was blatant misleading advertising. Reviewers were even not able to see the game on last gen until the release date. Mama, thank you for the other 50. I appreciate it. Thank you. God, to answer that question, yes and no. That's a valid criticism, but it's also not that weird. A lot of times, aw, what a good emote too. Like a lot of times that's pretty standard practice for somebody like CD Projekt who is a PC focused dev. You'll normally see PC builds go out before console builds, hoping that console builds. And really, like, and let's cut down to brass tacks on this one too. Shame on fucking Xbox and Sony for allowing this through certification. Shame on them for allowing this many. If a game has a known shippable or bug in it, they normally can get waivers to release it. So that way, on the promise that it's fixed. Yeah, God. So they're generally dev teams that you know, you think, I mean, Blizzard for starters, right? Even though Diablo and all that shit comes out on console, it's a PC focused developer. CD Projekt also is. All the Witcher games were on PC before they were ever on console. And the only reason The Witcher 2 made it to Xbox 360 back in the day was because they made a deal with CD Projekt in order to better optimize that game for it. Because people were like actually starting to get into the Witcher franchise at the time. The Witcher 3 is actually their first like full in sync PC console launch that they've done. You think of id Software, right? I think of PC because it is just natively a PC developer. Going back to the Doomsdays and shit like that. God, thank you for the Prime, dude. Long time no see, for sure, buddy, for sure. It has been a minute, but yeah. So, oh, like, but that's like, in all honesty, that's actually not that bizarre to see. And as somebody who did used to review games for like a hot minute, that isn't that abnormal, to say the least. Because we used to get, I mean, it was all mostly indie stuff because it was like a super small site that I was writing for at the time. And it was, but yeah, I mean, I would get Xbox codes for a game and I would get PC codes for a game, just depending on whatever they were natively working on. So it's a thing. It is a thing. And you hear stories about it, right? And nothing about it screamed that this game was going to have problems. They were basically saying, hey, we don't pull benchmarks from this because it has anti-piracy on there because of review copies. So you couldn't even benchmark it, right? It could just run like shit because of de novo, which is, you know, what people sometimes attribute to some of the anti-cheat that's out there. But nothing about it was that like bizarre or off. It was just, I don't know, man. I think this game came in really fucking hot because they were like, we can't delay this for like an 8th time, so we have to get this out the door. But I don't think that they were ready for the backlash that was seen from this game, because it was overhyped. It was overmarketed and overhyped. You saw it everywhere, dude. How often did they've been advertising Cyberpunk for literally like years at this point, and then here just recently this last year it's been in fucking overdrive, dude. I've had Twitch ads for Cyberpunk, I've had fucking billboards for Cyberpunk around me, it's all over fucking YouTube, it's all over. I got a Hulu advertisement for Cyberpunk because everybody was talking about this game. Everybody was talking about this game. And I know that everybody likes to blame like the pandemic for shit, but I think that's why you saw like a lot of oomph behind it as well. I think that people like staying inside more and playing more video games, especially for that first period, like that March to August period, was crazy. Still is crazy, right? You get whole states locking down and shit like that. That's a whole different conversation. But I don't think that Cyberpunk Rockstar cans, dude, for a single player game. Yeah, because that was summer vacation for all kids, and in a pandemic equals gaming. Yeah, exactly. Gaming 24/7, dude, and it hasn't stopped. Those kids still fucking learning remotely. What? They're not working. They're not doing their schoolwork. They're fucking finding other things to play or watch. They're not doing the work part of it. I don't know, man.